on Buddy? Trip to Perth. Obviously a long flight. Does it make things any different? Is he a chance of getting a spell partly because of that? Or?
No, look, we need him to keep training and playing at the moment. I think there would have been certainly a case for not playing if he'd played every game and been training all the way through to now. There might have been an argument for it, but he's had a few weeks off and training and playing, so we'd like to get some synergy into our forward half, and he's looking forward to keep on having just a block of reasonable training and playing, and that's what we're trying to aim for.
Is that helpful? So just with the bye coming up, is that kind of a good? You can work towards that, but that's that's a bit far off. We don't. That's not into the planning just yet. It's just making sure at the moment he's had an interrupted campaign till now, so it's just about trying to get him going and into a few weeks of training and playing, give him a few weeks, and but also just that synergy with our forward group as well, training and playing together. That's an important part of it. And once again, if it had been a different case as far as he played every game up until now, it might have been a different story, but it's not.
What do you have to do just to make sure with the long flight and body-wise that he comes back 100%?
Oh, it's not to the other side of the world. It's only over to Perth, so he'll be okay. I mean, he'll look after himself, get up and walk around, and do what he has to do. But it's that part of the argument as far as he just needs a bit of a block of playing and training now. So you just got to be flexible. You just can't lock in, this game here because it's in Perth, or you've just got to see what he's done training wise and what the team needs. And we think at the moment that both he and the team need him to come over to Perth, and we're confident he'll be fine.
How do you think he's going at the moment, John? He's obviously not played a lot of football last couple of years. Seems to be.
Well, I just think he'll keep building on his form throughout the year and from week to week, and that's what we're aiming for, is just to get some continuous. He's like any other player. No matter how much talent you have, you need some continuous training and continuous playing, and the more he's able to do that, the better he'll play and the better he'll feel. And if he gets to a stage down the track where he's feeling a bit sore and he needs to have a week off, we'll certainly do it if required. So at the moment he feels like he's been building, and that's important for him.
Did you consider giving him the week off, or did it even come into?
No, it's just he hasn't played, and so he's only played the 2 games back. So and he hasn't done a heap of training through that period. As far as with the team, he's done a fair bit of running in that. So just in this block and how it looks like right at this present time, it's making sure he gets a few weeks under his belt.
So Sam Reid a chance to return this week?
No, he'll be a few weeks away, I think, at this stage. Yeah, so his calf's taking a bit longer than we'd like.
And then your forward line setup's going pretty well at the moment. How impressed are you with Hayden McLean, and that's maybe the urgency isn't there to bring Sam Reid back in?
Well, it doesn't matter whether we want to bring him back or not. He's not available, so it doesn't sort of come into it. But Hayden was good on the weekend, and he's been pretty good for us this year across half forward. He's got a huge work rate. His ability to get across the ground for a big fella is really high. He plays big minutes and got a great endurance tank on him. So, and on the weekend he was able to take some contested marks. So that's a real bonus for us, and particularly when you need to look up and you need to get some distance, some territory. He's able to take those marks and help get the ball in your forward half. So, hopefully he continues with that sort of form.
John, someone big, small stature from your forward line, Errol Goulden, was announced late last week that he's going to be out for a few weeks at least.
Yeah.
Can you talk us through what's happened with Errol?
Yeah, he's just got a little bit of a stress reaction in his foot. So on the top of Braden Campbell had a bit of a stress reaction in his shin. Obviously the 2 younger fellas, we've been trying to manage them this year. In Braden's case, both of them have been missing training and managing their training loads. In Braden's case, we worked to have him miss the Gold Coast game. He was medical sub, but we got George Hewitt injured in the first quarter, so he played, which ideally would have been for him to have a rest. And Errol just trains and plays so hard and covers so much ground at training him during games that we've tried to manage him as best we could, but he's still tipped and so he's got a few weeks off now to make sure he gets himself right, and we need to make sure those younger players, fortunately we got them both at the right time, and so really early, just a little bit of stress there, so just back them right off, look after them, they're first year players.
Yeah, so how long, I know Errol's expected to be out until about the bye.
Yes.
And what about with Braden?
Oh, that'll probably be about the same thing, so we won't rush those boys at all, we'll give them plenty of time to get back, and then we'll take it, we'll take the time to build them up to training again.
And any sort of thoughts to like-for-like replacements to a degree with Louis Taylor and Sam Gray playing pretty well in the twos, at least to come in?
Yeah, well, on the weekend we had Isaac come back into the team, and we had Nick do a bit of second ruck, so that's how it worked on the weekend. So, I think we'd made some fair few changes in the 6, 5 and 4 changes I think before the weekend. So there's always a combination of providing opportunities, but also settling the team. And our twos were really good on the weekend, and we think we've got some options there if needed. And a few boys there will be putting their hands up.
With Isaac, I think we said last week that hopefully that ankle will kind of keep pulling up better and better the season goes on. Early sort of signs from the weekend, is that sort of what's happened?
Yeah, it's only one game back, and that's the thing. It changes from week to week, and look, we're hopefully he's pulled up pretty well this week. He won't do a lot. He never does a lot early in the week anyway, and so hopefully he's able to train on the Thursday and get some good work under his belt and feel good about himself going into the game, which he was able to do last week after having that weekend off. So he's a bit battered and bruised from the previous week, so it was good to freshen him up and get him going again.
Just with Hayden and his improvement in the last few weeks, he's probably played some of his best games of AFL footy, although he hasn't played many at the level. What's been behind that, do you think? Is it just him being more comfortable with the level and the surroundings?
I think it's a combination of a number of things. It's never any one thing. It's he's been able to have a really good pre-season. It's just always underpins anyone's good seasons if you have a really good pre-season. He's then come in and had a role for a few weeks and stuck to that role and provided a really important part of our team, and then he started to get some few weeks under his belt and some confidence on the back of that. So there's always a number of things. First and foremost, he came back in really good condition, and he was up there now, all of our testing, and so that means for a big fella he's able to play big minutes and give himself a chance.
And just on your forward line overall at the moment, we touched on it before, but are you happy with the balance? You've got a number of different players who offer different things, and it's not always what it was maybe 3 or 4 years ago where it's always but there's lots of options. Yeah,
we needed to keep developing and evolving that front half, and that's been happening, and we still think we've still got some options if required in our reserves as well that can come in and give us that bit of difference. You need a forward line with a bit of variety, and there's been a couple of injuries there throughout the year, and they haven't had to train a lot together, and so we'll be looking forward to our boys in the front half training a bit more together, which adds to that experience and that synergy that good forward groups need, and hopefully that continues to happen.
Yeah, speaking of the twos, you'll probably be able to ask the same question around
Sam
Naismith. Come out of that, what does it mean for the club, basically?
Oh, it was great to see him back on the weekend. It was great. He was here under lights, and he came out and played the second half and played well. Felt good about himself, had a real smile on his face today. Afterwards, had some sore spots, but some good sore spots because you got through a game and some knocks, and he felt really good about himself today. So hopefully that's the start of a process to come back in, keep training and playing, and continue to put some games under his belt.
Could you see him and Swansea again playing in the same team, or is it really going to go with that one run?
Oh, I think you always keep your options open. You're always open to whatever the team requires at any point in time, and we're not closed-minded on any of that. We'll just see what the team requires. We know that both can play really well, but Sam's just one step at a time. He's only played a half in the reserve, so he needs a few weeks under his belt, and hopefully he can get that now.
You're really strong on the soft cap cuts. Last week it was interesting. Over the weekend, North Melbourne said that they actually wanted to keep it as is. Can you believe that?
No.
Do you have a response to them?
No, not really. I mean, everyone will comment according to how they see it. It's not the way I see it. So, no. Good luck to them.
Tick pulled up okay? Tom Hickey?
Yeah.
Trouble, but is that just
a bit similar to the week before. He pulled up. We had a bit of a bit of a sore spot there for a period in the game, and then got going and felt okay. So we expect that to happen throughout the year. We felt like we still got some ruck options in our team with McLean and Blake. He can do a bit of, if he needed to, but he's been going quite well, Hick, and you get a test this week. I mean, we go over to a team that's got two informed ruckmen in Darcy and Lobb, so that it'll be a challenge again for us over there in a team that's got two pretty much recognised ruckmen.
Can you tell us a bit more about the thinking behind Nick Blakey playing that support ruck role?
Yeah.
Because obviously he's got some versatility where he can play forward or on a wing.
Yeah.
But perhaps it was obvious that he might be playing in the ruck.
He's got a great leap, and so that's part of it. He's tall. That's the other part of it. Some handy requirements for a ruckman. But when Sam Reid went out, he was playing at second ruck, and so we felt that Nick can come in and get around the ball. It gives us what we think is a reasonable contest around the ground, and he can get after it at ground level. And he's got some flexibility when he's playing in our front half. Your second ruck needs to be able to give you something in other positions, and he's able to do that. Look, we're not saying it's going to be a rest of the year thing, but it's certainly something that's working for us at the moment.
Are you eager to nail down a sort of regular position for Nick at all? I mean, he's been sort of been thrown around a bit. He can do lots of things, which is good, but I'm sure he'd probably like to get a run at one position if possible.
Yeah, but I think it's also the balance of what the team needs at any point in time as well. So you're always weighing those things up. If you say sort of settle him down in one spot, but he's not going to be able to play as consistently as what he'd like, you need to be flexible enough to move with that. And with Sam being out injured, we've played him forward as that second ruck as well. So that's a position for him at the moment. Whether that continues, who knows. But we know he's played a fair bit forward as well. It's not as if he hasn't spent much time there. It's only been over the last 12 months that he's played midfield.